Ladies and gents, I have with me in this episode Mais Mohammed, an influencer on Instagram. She has over 150,000 followers. She's a life coach. She's a corporate coach. She's a TV presenter and much more. In this episode, she shared with me how she grew her social media, how she markets her businesses, and we talked a lot about personal stuff, including karma, living in the now, and much, much more. Tune in and join us on this talk. بس ايه كيفك؟
منيحة.
ايه
How are you?
مبسوطة؟
Always.
You're good?
Yes.
كيف؟ What's the secret?
The secret about being good?
About being happy all
About
the time?
well, not all the time. I'd be lying if I'm happy all the time, because then I wouldn't know the definition of happiness. You need to taste bitterness to know what sweet is. So for me, happiness is, the beauty about it is that it comes as a package with sadness. I've always said that before. I've always said, like, you know, happiness and sadness are in a coin. مثل الدرهم والدلة اللي عنا بالدرهم الإماراتي. So they all come in the same coin. It's inevitable. You need to have both together. But it's about being at the tip of the coin and seeing both sides of it and understanding that even though I'm feeling sad, I know that happiness is on the other side. So this is what keeps me going. I always find the light at the end of the tunnel.
How?
I look for it.
Yeah.
I look for it. I ask myself the right questions. يعني, for example, let's say that things are not working out, work, friends, whatever reason it could be. I ask myself, okay, knowing now that things are not working out, what can I do to make myself feel better? What can I think about that can serve me better? So these questions that drive me forward allow me to shift my focus and perspective into something that's going to benefit me. Something that might give me an idea about my work, or give me an idea about why my friend is acting the way they are acting. And once I have reason for that, it immediately switches the emotion from sad to neutral or happy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting how each one of us has his or her own way
Of course. Everybody has their own way of how to switch emotions, or how to manage emotions, if you want to put it that way. They are the ones that I've learned, methods that make things much easier and faster. And there are the ways that people cope with it personally that might take a lot of time, but eventually it works out. Yeah.
And these methods, where did you learn them?
And life coaching, so NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is one of them. There's a lot of other methods that come with it. RS method is from one of the trainers that I took the training with, Robert Simic, stands for him. So he came up with his own method. It's quick, easy, instant change. Of course, I've been to so many different schools, learned from so many different people, from gurus, from monks, from even from different religions. You take the best out of them. So it's a bunch of it put together. Yeah.
Do you meditate?
Always.
How?
We all meditate, we just don't know it.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
How do you meditate?
So there's certain different types of meditations. There's the meditation where you sit still. I would say sit still, not have your thoughts still, and keep your focus in one place and one place only, which is where I usually do is I place it on my heart and I focus on my heartbeat. So that's more of calming myself down, being grounded. I like doing it by the beach or on my paddleboard. This is one of the favorite places that I like doing it on. And then there's the active meditation, which is sports, boxing, walking. Even if you're playing with puppies and dogs, that's also a sort of active meditation, because your focus is on a goal. Like, you want to finish your session, or you want to finish your reps or sets, or you want to play and you're focused on the cuteness of that puppy or that cat. So that's called an active meditation, because the definition of meditation is applying your focus into one place and one place only. So we all technically do it. We just don't realize that we're meditating throughout the day. So I do it in so many different methods consciously. Like, I know that, okay, now I'm going to go take a walk just to clear my mind and meditate. And I focus on the walk, the moment, the now, you know. Same when I do that, just listening to certain frequencies, sounds that I know will put my brain waves into a theta state. So we have different brain waves. Theta is more of the relaxed sort of daydreaming state. Whenever you're daydreaming, you're in theta. So I enforce that state on myself using certain frequencies and hertz that I listen to, breathing sessions, and count my heartbeat. Kind of puts you in Zen.
And you do this to relax or to be inspired, to take yourself to a place of joy, happiness, to travel? Why do you do it? Why do you meditate? Or why do you listen to these sounds?
To put myself in the theta state. So basically it helps it faster, the sounds. People are different from one person to another. There's certain music sounds, like house music, for example. A lot of people in trance and underground electro music, a lot of people love. I hate that frequency. Like that frequency, my body just does not adapt to it. And some people, the frequency that puts me in theta, their body just doesn't adapt to it. Same thing, you know. And some people, it relaxes them. The reason I do it, it's not because I want to be happy. You can tap into that emotion anytime you want. It's within you. Joy is built inside of you. You can access these emotions at any time if you choose to access them. But relaxation, yes, because we're so busy on the outside with the world outside of us. We're always consciously trying to solve a problem, even though we're only using our conscious mind is only 5% of our being. 95% of our day is run by our unconscious. So we're so busy trying to go our day to day that we don't realize that we should tap into the major one, which is the 95%, and work on that. So what I do is I pause for a minute.
Work on the 95% or on the 5%?
No, the 95%, which is the main chunk, your unconscious mind.
Yeah.
That deserves to be cleared out, deserve to reprogram, rewire. We're in a fast-moving generation, even if it's not fast-moving. But we're always busy focusing outside of us. And there's an entire world inside of us that we neglect. And when I meditate, I tap into that world. I tap into my higher self, my inner self. And the reason I do that is not only to relax, is to become a better me, to make better decisions, to have better ideas, to release if there's any stress, to release any of that. So it's many things put in one. It's not just about, I just want to relax. But relaxation is a big role. It comes with it by default.
Yeah. Who is Mais?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
I get to know her every day.
Yeah.
So sometimes I ask people, I always tell them, like, who are you really? Well, I'm more than just a label or a title, or I could say today that I'm a life coach or a TV presenter or voiceover artist or whatever it is that I do. But if you're asking me who's Mais, Mais is not these labels. Mais is a lot more than that. Mais is a soul, just like any other soul, that's having a human body experience. And what my goals are and what I would like to thrive and achieve and do is so much more than just Mais. I'm a being, and that's constantly evolving, constantly changing, and the only constant thing is growing. So Mais is the name my mom gave me, but the being that I am is much bigger than that. And I get to know more and more who Mais is every moment, every second of the day. That's the way I see Mais. But I'm also a life coach and a TV presenter, if you want the labels.
So who is Mais?
As in a character, you mean?
I don't know. Who is Mais? Like, you ask the people that you work with, as I just understood, who they are. Like, who is Mais? What is that? Like, if you have these 30 seconds to tell who you are. Because I know that we are, not me, I believe, because I believe that we are an incarnated soul and we're here to learn our lessons. And it's a difficult question. I don't know. I never thought about it. If you ask me today who is Bassem, I don't know. I don't know the answer because I never thought about it. And now I'm thinking about it for the first time.
Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it can turn into that.
You know, you said something very important. You said every person is brought here for a purpose or for a lesson, and that's your belief, and probably aligns with my belief as well. Might not be everybody's belief, but because I believe in it, and I believe that every person here is put in for a purpose. So if I were to say who's Mace, Mace is, I found out my purpose. People are still looking for it, you know, and purpose could change along the way. But today, for the purpose that I have, or I believe that I'm put in this world to do, it's because when I do it, I'm charged by it, I'm moved by it, and I am not bored, and I can do it 24 hours a day. Mace is the person that's a giver, that is there to help. Mace is the helping hand in any shape or form, whether emotional, mental, PR, connecting people. If I could help, I would. So I think my true purpose, or if I put it in 30 seconds, I'm a giver. And I give myself as well. I don't expect in return. So I give, but I also give myself.
How?
Because that's very important. A lot of people that are givers, they give and more than they already have. So more than their energy, more than they're capable of giving. And then at the end of the day, they're very drained. And that takes us back to what you asked me at the beginning. Meditating, sitting with yourself. I give myself that. I give myself that time. And if somebody comes in at the time where I'm in my bubble, where I'm giving myself that energy or that reboost, because everything is within us. So when I'm giving myself that, I need my time. So if somebody comes in that time, I say no, it's my time. Because I need to give myself in order to give you. I need to help myself.
What do you mean by when you say no? That means you say, no, I'm not going to give at that specific moment?
Yes, because when I say...
And I think this is the trick.
This is the trick.
To learn how to prioritize yourself for you to be happy, fulfilled, etc. So you can give more.
100%. Okay. So with every yes comes a million no's. So with every yes, you say, sure, I'll be there. Sure, I'll help you. You're saying no to your mental state if you're tired. You're saying no to your physical state, also in case you're tired. You're saying no to your happiness if you're doing something you don't want to do. But with every no you say, a million yeses come as well. You say yes to your mental state, yes to your happiness, yes to your relaxation. So it's just about balance. Everything is about balance in life. You need to know when to say no, when it comes on the expense of your well-being. And you need to know when to say yes to feed your well-being. So it's all about that yin-yang, that balance. Just give and take. You know, but people need to think about themselves. It's not selfishness. It's being smart.
Yeah. Did you find the balance? Like, did you, not only that, like, do you know, because sometimes when you say no, you feel bad, like I'm saying no. So what is it? Did you figure it out?
It's true. So many times, like even learning to say no, it's a learning that you do. It's tough. It's like, I don't want to say no. I want to help. And it's part of what I do. It's my purpose. But I know that if I say yes, it's going to really take a toll on me. It's a challenge. I won't lie to you. There are times where I know I should say no, but I say yes because my heart says that I have to do it. And then when I do it, I'm like, oh, why didn't I say no? You know? Yeah. But life, that's the beauty about life. It's an ongoing learning process. So have I learned my lesson? 100% no. I still do mistakes. I still say yes to things that I should say no to. I still take more than I can actually do. And sometimes my body just, the beauty about our body is that our body speaks to us. And most of the times when we get sick, it's kind of our body telling us, okay, because you can't say no, I'm going to put you in bed. I'm going to force you to sit in bed and not move. You're
right.
overworked.
By getting sick, you mean?
By getting sick. Your body just tells you enough. You need to stop. By getting tired, by getting exhausted. So that's when they say, listen to your body. Your body's telling you enough. There's so much I can take. And I learned that. I learned to listen to my body.
The body or the mind as well?
Both. They're all intertwined at the end of the day.
Yeah?
Yeah. The mind runs the body. The body has an impact on your mental state. If you're physically tired, you're mentally not thinking straight. So they're all connected. They're intertwined. But I think that if we listen to our thoughts, listen to our body, listen to this world inside of us, it would give you so many more answers than what you'd actually think or expect. You might not think that you have that many answers, but you do. You have a lot of answers within you. You just need to ask the right questions.
Yeah. How do you know what the right questions are?
Anything that's that a question does not have doubt in it, a question that drives you forward, there's no right or wrong, but it's the preferable question. So there's part of the things that we teach under the programs of NLP, and I've spoken about it a lot in my workshops, in my podcasts. There's driving questions that move you forward, questions that we ask ourselves every day. Each person, this question differs from one person to another. For example, between you and yourself, you might say, how can I be successful? Just a question to drive you forward. It's a positive question. But the positive question. And you say, how can I move? How can I be successful? How can I make money? Reality is that question is very negative. That question, the reason why it's negative is because our mind works in the now. It does not work in the past, and it does not work in the future. It works in the current moment. Just like iPhones, iPads, or phones, just in general, or tablets. When you start it, it doesn't start after a day. It starts instantly. Is that correct? So when you ask yourself, how can I make money? What are you presupposing you are doing right now? Not making money. When you say, how can I be successful? You're presupposing that currently you're a failure. You're presupposing when you ask yourself that. It means that you're currently not successful. So the way of asking yourself questions is a question that does not have doubt. It is very powerful in the now and is driving you forward in the future. So how can I be successful is supposed to be asked, how can I be even more successful than I am right now? It does not invite any doubt. It does not presuppose that you're not successful. And it does not give you a wrong command from your mind to send to your body.
100%. It doesn't put limitations as well.
Exactly.
So how can I do more? How can I be more?
Yeah. More than I am now.
More than I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trick is the now.
What about I am enough? What do you think of that?
It's a good affirmation.
Is it?
It's a strong one. I am is a very strong word. I am is one of the most beautiful ways to start a sentence if you end it in a positive note, because it's strong. You say, I am confident.
Enough. Does it put limitations, you think?
Of course. Both? Everything has a limitation. Even the positive, like when they say the sky is the limit, there's a limit. The sky doesn't actually have a limit, but we say the sky is the limit. What is enough at the end of the day? I am enough. What does that mean? Because I am enough for me might not mean the same as I am enough for you. I am enough, when I said it's strong, because the definition of I am enough for me is everything that I have inside of me in terms of positive emotions, in terms of moving forward, is enough. I don't need the other person's okay to make me feel like I am enough, or I don't need your compliments to tell me that I am confident. I know I have it in me. I can tap into it. I don't need your accreditation to feel good. I am enough. That's my definition of I am enough. Some other people might define it as what I have today in my life is enough and I don't need more. So it really depends on how you see it. And that's when I say I'm enough, because of the way I explained it. I see it as a strong word. But if it's explained in a negative way, and people explain things based on the way they see life. So it's very different from one person to another.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So today in your business world or your business life, you do so many things.
Yeah.
From being a life coach to blogging to being a TV presenter. What else? Because there's a list on your profile. What did I miss?
Voiceover artist. So I'm the voice of Entertainment Tonight بالعربي, in Arabic, ET in Arabic.
Okay. And I saw something with Emirates Airlines as well, right?
No, that was a joke. That was
a joke.
No, I'm not the voice of Emirates Airlines, but my podcast is on Emirates Airlines.
Is on Emirates Airlines.
Yeah, so
Meaning?
on the entertainment of Emirates Airlines.
Is
So
it?
yeah, if you fly on Emirates, you'll see my.
I'll check it out. Interesting.
You'll hear my podcast.
Which podcast? What is it about?
In Arabic, it's called لحظة مع Mais. To translate that, pause with Mais.
Okay.
And basically it's only in Arabic, but I'll explain anyway. Maybe I will do it in English all over again. It's every episode is a story that has a very strong moral. So I say the story and the moral behind it, and I ask people to pause, let it sink in, and then I give you the detail of how you can apply that moral into your life. It's short, sweet, and you can jump into any random episode because they're all different stories.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's Pause with Mais.
And that is you, or it's your podcast, you're interviewing other people?
No, it's just solo me. So what I do is I every Ramadan I try to do a Ramadan theme, or if there's a special occasion or a special holy month, that I try to do something. So this Ramadan, for a change, I decided to get guests on board, but that would kind of help throughout this month. So I got a gut specialist with breathing techniques that would allow the inflammation to decrease. I got a lifestyle nutritionist, not just a dietitian. I got a doctor on board. So it was very oriented towards mental plus physical well-being that could be applied in this month for people that are fasting, or for people even that want to do intermittent fasting throughout the other days. Yeah. So that was the only time, but because I liked it so much and I enjoyed my guests, so I thinking of starting to do once a month a special with a guest.
Yeah.
But the format still stays the same. It would be a story and their story maybe.
Okay.
So I don't really interview celebrities. I interview the people that I feel should be interviewed. Celebrities, of course, they're interviewed on a day-to-day basis, you know. Right. And I think if I interview them or I don't interview them, that's not going to stop them from interviews.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a big section of people out there that are not celebrities, but they're so valuable in terms of information. And they should be interviewed. Even their stories are so inspirational. They should be interviewed. So these are my special guests that will be coming out once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you monetize this podcast or not?
Yes. So the group that runs my podcast monetizes it on their platform. So not personally, I don't monetize on the platforms of Apple, Spotify, and Rami Deezer. They do that. They run that. They monetize on that. But I monetize on my Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, monetize on my Instagram, and recently I'm starting on YouTube as well to monetize it.
Okay. So you have quite a decent following base, so you can make money off of the podcast.
Well, money, I would say monetization in terms of getting sponsors on board.
You do have sponsors on board?
Yes, okay. I did. I got a few sponsors on the podcast. I mean, each one took 6-7 episodes where their logo was on it. And more sponsors to come, hopefully. If we're looking at monetization from YouTube, Then, well, YouTube, I mean, I do have a good number of subscribers, but it's not millions.
Yeah.
It's not millions of views. So with YouTube, it's tricky. Yeah, yet. Hopefully I'll get there. It's tricky with YouTube because YouTube, if you don't have that number, the monetization, yes, you can monetize if you have, I think, more than 10,000 subscribers or 10,000.
You barely make any money.
But like I've made, I think, 500 dirhams in 5 years. So like it's peanuts. It's not really money.
Got it. And the podcast Lahza with Mais, is it, how many followers you have on it?
Oh, good question. I haven't seen the recent number, but I can tell you that it's downloads basically because people download
they have to download it.
Yeah, no, on Apple you can download the podcast. So people listen and people download.
I see.
So that they can listen offline, I think.
Okay. Because it's not a video podcast.
It's both video and audio.
Okay.
No, video is on YouTube.
Okay. Because I thought Instagram as well. Okay. My bad.
So what's on Instagram is snippets of what the full episode is on YouTube.
Got it. Okay.
I choose pieces that I find maybe is a valuable sentence that's in 40 seconds or in a minute.
Yeah.
Add some subtitles on it so it can reach the mass. And I place it on my Instagram. But it's actually a piece from the full episode, which is 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, sometimes less even. And that's on YouTube.
Okay.
But on Apple, Deezer, Spotify, Anghami, all these other platforms, that's audio only.
Got it.
Because it's an audio-based podcast.
Okay.
So on the audio base is much higher than on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook.
Okay. Got
There's over 100,000 of downloads.
Interesting.
As opposed to 1,000 views on YouTube. But Instagram, when I boosted or not boosted, there's a very high number of views. And it shows you that people's attention span is very short.
Yeah.
Very
that's
short.
True.
Like when they see a video that's 40 seconds, good message, you'll get 100,000 views.
Yeah.
But the message came from a video that's 12 minutes, you'll get 1,000 views. But I'm talking about my platform. I'm not talking about this is the rule, Of course, the bigger the reach, if it's marketed and advertised in the correct way, then obviously it would reach a lot more higher views.
Of course.
Yeah.
On your Instagram, you have over 150,000 followers.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
Oh. I'll tell you one thing. I never boosted my account. This is 100% organic. And it came from different phases. So just recently, I boosted one video. This is my first time ever, like recently boosting videos. So I'm very new to the whole boosting thing. So if you want to, and I'll be very specific, 155,000, zero boosting. Today I'm 157. So these 2,000 extra came after the boosting. Okay. I mean, if I want to say which one I boosted, which one I didn't. I just believe that people follow you because they want to follow you, because you're tapping into something that they enjoy. They want to hear you, they want to listen to you, they want to watch you, depending on which field you're in, of course. If it's a fashionista, they like her style. If it's a life coach, they like their content. And you cannot force people to like you. And then you have the other batch, depending also on your content. If you're a comedian or if you're just some pretty face on social media, you'll have the haters following you as well. They follow you just so that they can hate on you. But, any media is good media. So, alhamdulillah, I don't have any of that because my content is mainly video and it's talking to people. But I think because of my journey in media, it picked up. So my first batch of followers that were like 20, 30,000 came the days that I was a radio presenter. So the curiosity of people wanting to know who's behind the voice, they would search me on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then they followed me because they liked my content. And then the same went in when I went into the fight show that I presented on TV. So Desert Force, it was pretty much all guys. Even my percentage of men to female to male, like male was, I think, 65% and the rest was female. Today, the higher percentage is female and the lower percentage is male. And I think that's because my content slowly drifted into becoming kind of niche and only life coaching. So there wasn't any MMA anymore. There wasn't any fights. So kind of took away the interest of the guys that were following for that reason. And it just grew. I think the way people started sharing it, TV helped, of course, radio helped, but I don't know what exactly helped. I just really think I would like to believe that it's my content, because what I present on my social media is not what I present on TV, and it
What's
is who
the
I am.
difference?
TV is entertainment.
Your personal is what?
On my social media,
Yeah,
it's purely life coaching.
life coaching.
It's pure everything under the umbrella of life coaching. So even if it means traveling a staycation and telling people take a break and let me show you how I take a break, like everything in my content is related to the mindset, even if it's going out. Like I opened another Instagram page. I called it Moments with Mace. So that's like all the cool places that you can check out, you know, whether in UAE or outside UAE. And I differentiated it because I didn't want to mix the two together. I just want my page to be purely life coaching. And I think this is why people are following me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is the biggest challenge because there's so much clutter and there's so much content online, especially on platforms like Instagram. It is extremely difficult to stand out, and it is extremely difficult to get followers, and it's extremely difficult to get engagement. So we end up boosting. So what do you think is the trick?
Honestly, since I've tried boosting, I think that it's absolutely great. I've realized the difference on it and the power of boosting. And there's nothing wrong with boosting. Boosting means that you're trying to boost to reach that person that is not seeing your content. Algorithm changes every day on social media. You can't keep up with the algorithm. You don't know what hashtag to put or how many stories to put up, or should I post this link or should I not put this link? People will see my story, they won't see my story. So many questions that go behind the algorithm of social media. And unless, I mean, you're working in Facebook or Meta or Instagram, it's kind of hard to keep up, or even with TikTok. What is the algorithm? I don't know. But boosting helps you reach that or those people that you haven't reached yet. And this is what I realized that we were having this talk a while ago.
That's the easy part.
The boosting.
Yeah, boosting is easy. So what, from your experience, because boosting is easy, right? You put $100, you're gonna get the views and etc. What does it take? Because I'm asking you that specifically to you because you didn't boost for years. So what do you think it takes to make that post or that content for people to see it, for people to engage with it, for people to follow it, for people to share it, for people to save it, from an organic standpoint?
Organic.
So
there you go. Authentic, organic, not being fake, and not trying to be something you're not. You cannot persuade people to do something, to click that like button or to click that follow, unless you touch them inside their soul or something, or move them on the inside somehow. Even if your content is about cooking, if it's about fashion, if you're trying to be the next Victoria's Secret model, or if you're trying to be the next Steve Jobs and you're imitating him, mocking him, there's a difference between modeling someone where you see this is what he did, it worked out, let me go on that path in my own way, my own character, my own DNA, my thumbprint. And then that's what you'll succeed in. But the minute you try to become that person, it shows that you're not being authentic. You're not being organic. It's not done organically. It's done very staged. It's so much effort put in. Less is more in social media. It's amazing that, especially the trend of podcasts these days on video. Of course, great quality, people enjoy watching. But come and look at it. It's very simple. All podcasts. It's just this mic, simple light, and you got it. But if I shoot this today with a phone and I have the same content, you think people won't watch? Of course they will. So it's about constantly creating content, constant, not appearing, disappearing, disappearing. Today I am like that. But when I first started on social media, I was day to day. I never missed a day from content. I used to sit every Saturday. I would create like a whole week of content. and I would just keep posting every day. And this is how I did my time management, because people go like, how do you have the time to post every day? I said, I actually record it in one day, but then I post it across the week. So it's about consistency, always being there for the people that are following you, always being there for the people to so they don't forget you, because people tend to forget. Like if we don't speak for like 5-6 years, I'm gonna forget. Like even if I'm gonna sit down there and on a meeting and they tell me, May said, you know anyone that's great in marketing? If we haven't spoken 6 years, do you think I'm gonna remember you or bring up your name in the meeting? I won't bring up your name, not because I don't like you, but because I won't remember you. And social media is the same. If you don't constantly show up in their face, they're not gonna remember you. So being yourself is key. I think that's what leads you to success. And that's what made all of them successful, even the ones with the most ridiculous content. It's ridiculous, but at least they're being themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said less is more. So posting less is more as well?
No.
Okay.
Less is more as in the less effort you put into the post. And then as in it doesn't have to be in TV production.
Yeah.
Plus the algorithm doesn't even apply to it. Like it's funny because when you post something from your phone as opposed to something high quality, even the algorithm doesn't pick it up. It's
the algorithm doesn't pick up which one?
The high quality.
Okay.
The TV production style.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. Ask the algorithm. I have no idea.
Hold on. Okay.
Let's call the algorithm and ask it. I have no idea. I think it's I don't know what it is, but the reels, the quick, the snappy ones, straight to the point, light. Either the algorithm or it's the people's behavior. I don't know. I don't work in Facebook. I don't want to give any information that I'm not sure of. But it's just from my personal experience, from what I see from my posts. The podcast videos, on the other hand, they're simple, they're short, they're straight to the point, they're real style, like the real style on Instagram. So they pick up views, even if it's done with a professional camera, a professional mic.
You're right.
And I realized that audio plays a big role. Mm-hmm. Audio is more than picture.
For sure.
Yeah. Plays the biggest role. So I think from what I see, this works.
What are some marketing trends you're seeing here in the region?
In general, or in what field?
In general. Let's say social marketing trend. Like in general, I don't want to specify it actually. Like, do you see anything happening with influencer marketing? Do you see anything happening with social, with metaverse? Do you see from because you're very active from a business development, marketing, personal branding. You said podcast, but it's like what do you see trending nowadays?
I mean, what's trending these days, from what I see, every country is different. So if I'm gonna specify, you're talking about UAE.
Let's say Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai, UAE. It's the NFTs and the metaverse is really picking up. All the influencers are creating their NFTs, and they're placing it as their profile picture. They're kind of moving into that metaverse. They're trying to keep up with the trend of the NFT. They're even attending the conferences. They're opening up into the metaverse and understanding what it is. I've been getting emails, create your own crypto coin. I'm like, okay, no, I don't think I've gone that far just yet. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're maybe coming up the new trend where they get everybody to create their own currency, their own coin. Not that I'm with that idea. I just feel like if you want to create your own coin or crypto, you just need to be knowledgeable about what is cryptocurrency. How can I be on that blockchain? There's a whole world in it. And I've been reading and listening to videos about the crypto world before the metaverse and the NFT. It was just purely mining crypto and blockchain and all of these companies that go into it. 6 years now, and I'm still learning, and it's still confusing. Like there's still a lot into it that so it's not something that I feel like should be a trend, but it is trending. Yeah, it is. A lot of them are creating NFTs, and fashion's always going to be trending. It's a non-stop.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a marketing budget for yourself, for your businesses?
No, I should.
You should.
I should.
But you
yeah.
don't.
Not yet.
Okay.
Um,
You just boost whenever you want to boost.
pretty much.
You attend exhibitions. So you're spending on marketing yourself, but you don't necessarily have a budget.
No, I don't have a budget per se, because honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't spend an arm and a leg on my marketing. Like, I don't spend big amounts. But I do believe that in order to, if I did, maybe my account would be so much bigger.
Right.
And I'm a strong believer that when you spend, you get.
Yeah.
Like, your money doesn't go, you know, you're gaining something in return. But I'm still structuring that models because I do so many things. So it's just about kind of knowing what to market when. Like during the times where corporate trainings, I know is the season, I put all the investment into, well, not all the investment, but like a big chunk of money into corporates and to reach out corporate trainings, because I know that's the season. So I kind of work with seasons, and I market accordingly.
For which business is that?
So under life coaching, I do corporate training.
Okay.
So under wellness of the corporate, how to release stress from work, you know, the employee well-being, so team building. So that's part of what I do as well. So I work based on season, like in terms of life coaching, you know, one-to-one. I realize that the strongest kind of marketing is referral marketing, not boosting. And if I were to boost, it would be people's testimonials.
Right.
That gets me clientele.
Interesting.
When I boost myself, like telling you how life is going to be great and you're positive, it's people will immediately look at the video and go like, yeah, but it's easier said than done. Like she's just saying that for the ad. But when somebody is saying it, my life transformed when I went and I saw Mais, people believe, because testimonials and referral marketing is still the traditional and yet the best marketing. Right. Funny enough, my mom does not have any social accounts. She's a psychologist. She has more clients than I do because of referral marketing.
Of course.
And that shows you that you don't have to depend only on social, but if you are on social and you want to advertise on social, if you have a testimonial for something you've done, it could be not just life coaching, could be, you know, you do events. Get the client to speak about it. Even if they're not great on camera, even if they don't know how to send the message well, but I've realized that that's the strongest form of marketing till this day.
Right. So your life coaching, it's not only life coaching, but it's coaching, you said, because you work with corporates.
Yes.
Right. So that is you, or you have as well team members with you?
No, that's me. But when I come to do team building, of course, I outsource. So I have the games, but depending on the number of people. So if I have like 50 people, running around 50 on my own is a bit hard, and setting up the games. So no, I outsource. There's a lot of there's two companies that I deal with. They do there's what they do is games, corporate games. So I get their staff, their team, and we work hand in hand.
Got it.
Yeah.
And how do you get these clients?
So
you said you boost.
You boost, but I like calling in person.
You do?
Yeah. So I pretty much put a target, and I go like, this is the client that I want.
Really?
Yeah. So I call the HR because they're usually they're usually and I ask for a meeting.
Okay.
And I go in for a meeting and I make sure to sell it the best I could.
Okay.
About the importance and what difference they would make, and the skeptical ones, which I love. They go like, yeah, but it's not going to help. I offer them like a kind of demo of 30 minutes free of charge. And then they see the impact and they go like, okay, now we want it. Like a 20-minute demo kind of thing in a meeting. Like this is what they would get. And I show them a little bit of the content and they sign it off. But it doesn't usually get to that point.
Right.
But if it were, this is something that I still move on. I always offer something for free in order to lure them in for the big prize, you know, sign them in. But now, alhamdulillah, like I've been on I have a very good clientele, like a portfolio of multinational companies, different sectors, fashion, Louis Vuitton. When you talk about tech, I have Adobe, pharmaceuticals, there's Sysmex, and so many, Majid Al Futtaim, so many other companies that go in. So my portfolio is quite rich. And I think by just showing them my portfolio at the HR, they're kind of satisfied.
They're sold.
They're sold, yeah, they're sold.
Do you make money from being an influencer?
Surprisingly, no.
No.
Not yet.
Because they don't reach out to you, or because you don't want to charge?
No. Of course. I mean, if I can make money anyway, I would. Why not? You know. But I'm picky. I mean, no. Well, two things. One, not a lot of people reach out to me for influencer campaigns. Maybe because I'm not registered. That's my bad. Maybe because I'm not registered in many PR agencies. I should be. But again, there's a lot going on in my life. So I kind of missed out on this one. Like, I should register myself in PR agencies so that they know, so that they can. I do need a manager that can actually get me these projects. I don't have one. I don't have anyone managing me. I don't have an agent. So that pulls back. The people that have agents makes it easier for them because the agent goes and gets these projects in. Money that I don't really make money from it because I'm also not a supermarket in my belief. Like, I'm very picky with the content that I place on my social media. If it does not resonate with who I am, if it's not 100% true, I will not advertise over my dead body. It doesn't work. I will not. If you pay me $10 million right now and that product is not a good product, I will not post it on my social media. I just feel like it's a responsibility. And if I'm going to say something, it needs to be truthful.
Makes sense.
And it's not just a supermarket of yalla, all the products put together, and because there's money involved. I just feel like it's not fair, you know, for the people that are buying these products, and then it turns out to be some sort of joke. So when they send the product, I tell them I have to try it, and if I'm convinced and it resonates with my content, so I need to somehow place it in a way organically that it fits with what I preach. Because I can't just come up one day and go like, so I'm going to be talking about Botox. Like, why am I talking about Botox? You know, like, people are following me because of my coaching.
Right.
But if I were to bring it in the sense if you're not comfortable in your own skin, like, I still talk about Botox. It's about how I talk about it.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable in your own skin, there's this new product, organic. It doesn't affect the body. It's good. And I've tried it and I've seen the results after 10 days and really so far so good. Then I can pitch it. I'm giving you an example. I haven't done that. But just to yalla, freebie, let me do it. No. And if it's bad, I would say it's bad. Sorry, clients. Sorry, brands.
No, that's the way.
Yeah.
For the sake of time, we finished the 1 hour, believe it or not.
Oh my God, time flies with you, huh?
And with you.
Sorry, I talk a lot.
So we didn't cover probably like 80% of the questions that I had for you.
What's your most important one?
All of them.
Oh, do you want another podcast?
We'll do another one. What is one thing you leave the listeners with?
You make my life so hard, don't you? One thing, huh? Live in the now. Like, I would leave that for you. Because that can apply. I mean, I even have it tattooed on my body. Not only you have tattoos, I have them too. Live the moment, live the now. That's the motto that I live by. And I think everybody, if they want peace of mind and if they want a better future, is to live in the now. And what I mean by that is that we're constantly either living in our past failures, traumas, or we're living in the anxiety of our future. But we tend to forget to live in the now. And your life is about this moment. It's not about what happened 10 years ago. And it's not about what's going to happen 10 minutes later because you don't even know what's going to happen. So enjoy these moments. They're not going to last forever. Whatever comes will come. And whatever's gone is already gone. And that way you can be more focused and you can enjoy life and probably have a better career. And I think that's the best way I can simplify. Live the moment. You want to ask me something else, don't you?
No, I mean, I'm relating to your experience in a way, to your life experience. So when you say live the now, to me, I can relate in a way.
Yeah.
It comes from a deep place, I would say.
Yeah.
I think it's the most difficult to live in the now because we're dreamers. We're always dreaming about the future and about becoming better and about feeling better. And it's the easiest for us to go back to the past. And luckily for me and for you, we know how to live the now because I practice it. I've recently finished a few courses with pranic healing. I learned a few meditations that I practice on a regular basis. And I'm interested. I'm reading books about it. And I feel so much better. And I've done life coaching for 6 months, part of a program. I didn't remember that you were a life coach. I didn't even know before. I would have spoken to you. But like for me, I enjoy the moment. I understand the value of it because I have that anxiety. I had this anxiety all the time, and the stress and the bloating and the joint pains, and you too, I know. So easier said than done. Though.
But when it's done, it becomes easy.
When it's done, when you know how to do it, it becomes easy.
Yeah. It's true. And I think that change is beautiful to go into that journey. And I think it's very important people do it. Dreaming is good, by the way. Nobody said stop dreaming. It's about being anxious of the future is what you need to stop. If you can switch the anxiety to dreams. It's an example that I usually give. I say, if you get your salary at the end of the month and you go to the mall, would you spend it on everything that you don't want? You really don't want. Nobody does that. People crazy. Why would I spend my money on things that I don't want? Then I asked them this question. I said, if you don't want to spend your money on things that you don't want, why every night before you sleep, you think about everything you don't want in your life? The anxiety of your future. What happened in the past? What could happen? It sounds ridiculous. Start thinking about the things that you do want in your life, just like you would like to spend your money on the things that you do want. And thoughts are free, so choose them wisely. And if you realize and you consciously realize that you're thinking in that pattern of negativity and all the things that you don't want, stop yourself consciously. Be like, why am I thinking about this? Let me start dreaming, thinking about the things that I do want, visualizing them, applying them in my life. And this is something that's very important that people should do.
Yeah. And I think it becomes a bit tricky. Like for us, maybe we are in a position where we can not necessarily worry as much. But like, what do you do with, like, how do the people that are, let's say a mom with 3 kids, she's a widow, she lost her job, her kids need to be fed, they need to go to school, and she doesn't have much help. How would she deal with not worrying about the future and having all these anxieties and sicknesses and so forth?
Well, to put it in that way, it's a tough situation, obviously. But this is very important for this mom, whoever is listening, that might be going through a similar situation, not even widowed, could be divorced, and trying to provide for the kids and little help. Worrying is not going to give you that solution. Worrying is actually going to do the exact opposite. I'm not saying be positive and great, life is great, and I'm sure a solution will come my way. But you need to be focused in order to provide for your kids. And part of being focused, worry does not fall under it. It takes away from your focus. So I understand by nature, your body will go into fight or flight. Your body will worry. Why? Because you have, especially with moms, the built-in emotion that comes with the motherhood is fear. They fear for their children, whether in a loving way or not. And that constant fear will lead them to get off of track. So she really needs to pull up her strength and get herself together and say, I can do it. J.K. Rowling's, her story. Well, look at her. She was from an abusive husband that kicked her out on the streets. She had no money. She had a child. She would starve herself just so her child can eat. And now she is the richest writer in history, from Harry Potter, that was written where? It was written in a cafe that she could barely afford that coffee, but she didn't stop dreaming. She never quit. She could have gotten a job. She didn't even do that. So when you look at people like that, I look at, no, I understand worry is there, but get up, get your stuff together, Pick yourself up. Have a goal. Move towards it. Because sitting down and be like, oh my God, and playing the role of the victim, even though you are the victim, but playing the role of the victim to yourself every day is not going to feed those kids. And it's not going to get you a solution. So the only person that can push you is you. And then things end up opening up. You're in?
Amen.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Good to be here.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll do it again.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.